All things desi, all things spicy. This is Pxrdesi Mirchii, 7291 non-FM. Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your host Minnie from Pxrdesi Mirchii, and you're watching season 2, episode 7 of me and some very exciting guests today. I have been trying to get to their workshop for like 5 months now, and having to want to get an episode with them for like 4 months as well. I guess this is thanks to Shehzaan for showing up to Europe, showing up to the Netherlands. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met these beautiful girls in frame and in conversation with me today. We have the Faujdar sisters. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Of course, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I'm glad to finally be able to do this with you.
Finally. After like 5 months and 50 minutes of sound check.
Here we are.
Really been a long time coming, but finally.
Yes. So quickly, if you can introduce yourselves, who is who, and tell us about your beautiful blue hair.
I'll start. Yeah, I'm Vidushi. I've been in the Netherlands since early 2022. Prior to that, I was in Malaysia, and before that, I've grown up in the Maldives. So moved around quite a bit. So very much a third culture kid. The blue hair came about because I really wanted to try to dye my hair just before the pandemic hit, actually. And I was thinking about it for the longest time, but then the pandemic came through and I was like, okay, now obviously can't do anything because we're in lockdown and stuff. So I sat on that idea for about 8 months, and I still wanted to get my hair blue after the 8 months, and I was like, okay, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? If it's bad, I'll just go back to black. But it's worth a shot. And so I got it done, I think, in 2021. And it's been blue since.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful blue, I must say. Very vibrant.
Yeah, it's also my favorite color, if you can tell. Yeah. That's about me.
And I'm Vidyottama, the elder sister. I got here back in 2017, so almost 7 years now. Kind of similar. We were both born in India, brought up in the Maldives. We went to university in Malaysia as well. Then I moved to Hong Kong for about a year. What got me here was my master's. I went to TU Delft. I did 1 year at Delft, and then I took an exchange. I did 6 months in Aachen, 6 months in Munich. And then I've been basically, since graduating, been very settled here. and for good for now.
That's good. And any reason why your hair is not colored?
I think we can see she's the more daring one. She's the more, I'm more risk averse. We got a tattoo together and we really sat on that for, a year, 2?
More
I don't even know. And
And
now
even-
she's like, I'm not even going to wait for you because if this is how long you say.
When we went for the tattoo appointment as well, the tattoo artist was like, which one of you is more scared? And then we were like, obviously her. And he was like, okay, get hers done first, because if you're getting matching ones, there's a high chance that she doesn't want to get it after you do yours. So she did go first.
I stick to the basics. I'm basic.
No, but we love basics as well. But we also love your blue hair, and I think that's what makes you guys look very pretty, but also radiate that kind of uniqueness. And that's something that we also get to see in your dance, and that's what we want to talk about, of course, amongst other things. So before we get right into that, Maldives to the Netherlands, but originally from India. Did you ever see yourself going to or settling down in Europe of all places, or like the Netherlands to be specific?
I think for me, I somewhere did know that, in the Maldives, you can really only be happy if you're either fishing or doing tourism. And I think both of us didn't really see that for ourselves. So it was a matter of what comes next. But if you say 10 years ago, could you imagine this is what life would look like? It's far from, touch wood, to that. The fact that we've made this possible for both of us. But happy where we are now. But it's of course a dream. I would say it's a dream come true.
Yeah,
in a
I
lot of
think for
ways.
me personally as well. I was very settled in Malaysia, so I did do university there. I graduated, and then I was working there for like 3.5 years. I was very comfortable. But then I think what really made me take the step to move here was the pandemic itself. Because I was away from family. So parents were in India, she was in the Netherlands, I was in Malaysia. and just keeping in touch was a chore at some point, and that really takes a toll on your mental health and just decisions as well. So in that sense, that was a moment of reflection where I took a step back and I was like, where am I going with this? Like, what is the end goal? And obviously, like, the goal was to be closer to family, because I did move out of home when I was very young. So I moved out when I was like 15. So I do feel like I've missed out on, being very close with my family and living under the same roof for an extended period of time. And the pandemic was just a reflection of exactly that, and I was like, I don't want to be isolated anymore. And then it just, because she was so settled down here, it just made sense. Also because we had started our dance journey through the pandemic, I was like, it's the only logical decision to make. And masters brought me here eventually as well then.
And were you guys like close growing up as siblings? Because you said you're the older one, what's the age gap between you guys?
We're 3.5 years apart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like,
but we get mistaken for twins a
all
lot.
the time.
That was gonna be
And
my
also
first
the other way
question.
around. People also think she's the older one. So it's, baby face all the time.
No, but I wouldn't have guessed that it's 3 years. Were you guys like close growing up, or like?
It's taken a while. It's taken a while. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
But I think in the recent, at least in the last decade, we got
I think since the time she first moved out in 2013, because I think like the saying is very true, and you don't realize until it happens. Distance really does make you grow fonder, and I think that's exactly what also happened with us. I feel like having that distance and not having her around 24/7 really makes you realize the importance and the need of that person in your life. And I think the distance really did bring us closer and bridge that gap. But I think for the most part we were quite close throughout.
Now that you're here in the Netherlands, and of course you've seen a lot in terms of like geographical adjustments. Looking back from India to the Maldives to the Netherlands, what are some like adjustments that you felt like you've had to make, either individually or together? Either that could be like culturally or maybe just like personality wise. What are some changes or fluctuations or adjustments you've had to make and see?
I think for me personally, like I've noticed this especially in the corporate side of my life. Within Asia, like when I was working in Malaysia, it was very different in the sense that you had to really, think about how you package things and how you show up at work and stuff like this. But over here, you're just very straightforward, and you need to also be able to receive that as feedback. And I think learning that, because you just get thrown into the deep end over here once you start working in an environment that's just, conditioned in that way. So I think professionally, that was probably the biggest change for me. Aside from professionally, I think personally, I feel a bit more of a distance from like, people I love, of course, because when I was in Malaysia, like everyone I knew was a flight away, but now that
short
distance,
flight away.
a short flight away, but now that distance is a lot more, so I think that's obviously felt. And also just culturally, because like a lot of cultural norms as well, like from India to Maldives to Malaysia are different, but compare that to the Netherlands, it's poles apart as well, and that takes a lot of adjusting. So I think just all that moving around has also like shaped me into being a lot more adaptable and just understand cultures and pick what you feel like fits you. And I feel like that's a big part of my personality today. I've just picked up things from all these cultures and countries that fit me, and that's who I am today.
That's good though. Yeah. And has it been the same for you, more or less? Or
I think I agree with everything she said, but I would take a different perspective on this. I never thought I would go to school on a boat, and we've done that for 10 years of our lives. Honestly, I get more car sick today than I am. When you say it really, you take a part of it wherever you go, it's fully true. And the same also over here, like when I came to Delft back in 2017, to me it was... I think it was a December morning, 8 a.m. and I think we had like a unit test sort of a thing. It was hailing like bad, and I was like, there's no way this test is gonna happen, but reality check, it did. We had to bike through the hail, and that was just like, okay, like get your stuff done, like no matter what. And like you said, I think maybe things are a bit easier back home. It's not competition wise, but you just know your place, your people. You can pick up the phone and get your way. But you really need to make things happen, and I think that's why also we are here today.
Yeah. I understand that, especially with the weather. Like, I won't be lying if I say, because I'm from the Caribbean, I don't know if it is a Caribbean thing or just a personal thing, but I really do think it is a Caribbean thing. If it's raining, plans automatically cancel. Like, really, you could have a reservation at the restaurant, plans are canceled.
True,
I
I
think
think
automatic
been
been
used to
it's
that.
like you just have that understanding. You call your friend and be like, the weather doesn't really
Correct.
Right now, I was thinking that she reschedule.
Yeah, and over here it's really the opposite. Like
Completely the opposite.
Even in terms of like friend groups, like you really feel that difference, and you have to force yourself like out of bed and to get yourself out the door.
Because you're scheduling these plans 2 months in advance.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
You don't wake up and be like, hey, let's meet. No, this is scheduled for like at least 3 weeks. So you show up.
That was me today.
Yeah.
Well done.
Took me like 40 minutes of like encouraging myself. Like, okay, even if you take the late train, it's fine. Show up.
Well done.
But
Yeah, good on you.
You guys motivated me to show up. I did want to do this for a really long time, so I'm like,
Glad to hear.
do it for the sisters. So now let's talk about the workshop. Let's talk about dancing. When did you both realize together, well, first individually, that you had a passion for dance? And then how did you guys find that passion together?
I think we've had the passion since we were very young, to be honest. Always dancing at like family functions and family events and weddings and stuff
Also
like
to
this.
thank mom and dad, they've put us in like every class possible, from violin to tabla to kathak to, I don't know, to Bollywood and
even learning the
swimming
piano,
and
singing.
tennis.
That's
Like we've
classic
done
brown
everything.
parents.
Yeah.
And we've kind of chosen what really stuck with us. So
Yeah.
I think we've both been learning since we were kids. But then when we moved to the Maldives, obviously that broke a bit.
But we
then,
were still doing events with the High
exactly.
Commission
So
over
we
there and
found
stuff.
ways to really stay connected, and we were organizing a lot of like with the High Commission, like she said, and yeah. So it's always been a very big part of life. Then when we went to Malaysia, we were dancing through there, also doing events for our university.
I think it also helps us stay close to our country and
Yeah.
culture, given that, we haven't really spent enough time of our lives living there. I think it's one of the things that, really sticks with us in terms of maintaining that bond with India as well. And I think that's just been our journey throughout. So we have always had the passion since we were very young, but I think it did die out a little bit after both of us graduated and found jobs.
Figuring
and
life out phase.
Because there's so much else you need to prioritize, and you're in different chapters of your life, and then when you're completely apart as well. She was in the Netherlands, I was in Malaysia. Like, to do that and keep it up, it was impossible. And people around us weren't doing it either, so like there was just the lack of that push and motivation, so to say. So we did kind of drift away from it for a while, and
And I think COVID came as a blessing. It's
In
not the
disguise.
best thing to say, but
No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do my exams.
we all got something out of it. I think that just really slowed things down, and we were like, okay, what makes us truly happy? And again, we were 7 hours apart with time, with a lot of distance, and I think that's what really started us. So fun fact, we actually had our Instagram page for a long time before, but it was a travel focused page.
I did see that. Yeah.
Wow, okay, so you really
Really done the
Some
homework.
research,
Yeah.
stalking.
So I think that was a perfect time. We were like, okay, we actually finally have time to give to this. It was probably very unconventional when we were making these collage videos.
But back then it was also the norm. Like,
True.
everyone was finding ways to just do things
So
together.
that brought it back around to our lives. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then where did because you, like I said, I looked through your page and there were quite a couple of videos as well in the start. When did the whole, hey, let's start teaching people, let's start hosting workshops, let's start performing? Because you did say you had like experience with performing in cultural events and community events. How easy was it to like start that in a new country? Because I know how that feels. I've been very active in my community back home. But for me to start it here, because I also came up here in COVID and I had no friends And because I was such a big Bollywood fan, I've always kind of dreamed or fantasized about the whole Dharma college experience, which was hard because not only was I stuck in lockdown, like an hour away from my actual university, but at the same time, I was like the only South Asian person in my class besides another person, and there's not much Dharma happening in that. So it's like, oh, how do I get this? And then of course, once you find like a little bit of a community, for me, I just stuck with it. But I have to say, they did help me grow, and I am where I am today because of their support. So what was that pull factor for you? What was that magnet for you guys?
I think it was also the fact that I had moved to the Netherlands, and a part of that goal was to start making videos and like doing dance together again, because we hadn't done it in the longest time.
The funny thing is, we were looking for classes and we were looking for how we can enhance what we already do. And honestly, we did not find much. So like you said,
lack of supply.
Create opportunities when you don't have them. We were like, okay, see
so
this glass half full.
I think it was 7 months since I moved to the Netherlands, and we were still stuck searching for dance classes and stuff. And then we were like, you know what, if there's none, why don't we just do trial and error? Let's just give it a shot once, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, let's see how we can change things or do things differently. And we started, I think, November 2022. That was our first ever dance class.
And we thought like if even 2 people show up,
as long as we break even,
someone's gonna look. It was a full class. And that was back in Harlem. So shout out to Harlem fam. But that definitely got us going, and it kind of reinforced that there is something we can offer and bring to the community. Also the fact that we can get people to meet other people, expats especially. There are people who've met up and then gone to concerts together thanks to this, thanks to us, and I think that's a very, very special feeling.
True. And I think I would also like to add to that in terms of the performance that you mentioned. I think we were all nerves the first time we were performing. So getting back into performing, I think, was a bit of like, throwing ourselves out of the comfort zone after a really long time. And we were just having a chat like 5 minutes before we went up on stage, and we're like drinking water, we're like shaking, we're like, are we okay? Are we ready? Like, do we feel like we've practiced enough? And then we were just like, you know what, all the best. We know how to do this. We've done it before. Let's just, put ourselves out there and see what comes of it. And the rest is history.
Very much. Tell me about like the first time you hosted the workshop, because you said a lot of people came, but then was it like, have you done teaching before? Was this the first time you taught? And what was that experience like? Like, what was the song that you guys taught, and how what was the response that you had after it?
We taught Dance Ka Bhoot because it had just released, and we had very fond memories also with the song for reasons which will come up later in this session as well. But the response was great. Like, there were so many people that were saying, oh, we've been looking for Bollywood classes for the longest time. We had a very diverse crowd as well. People from Leiden, from Utrecht, from different cities, from Harlem, Amsterdam. Like, that was a lot more than we expected, and that really reinforced our motivation as well.
It wasn't hard. I think it's because we've always taught people, like also back in the Maldives through school, but also at university. So we've always been kind of leading a lot of dance events. But obviously this is different because people are coming to learn, right? They're not being forced to be up on a stage just because they're part of a club, right?
And they're also paying for it at the end of the day, so you need to make it worth their money and time as well. Like, you need to leave them with an impression that brings them back, and that's the one mantra we've had. Like, we don't want to do classes that just are classes, and I feel like that's also been our USP since the beginning. We've always focused on more building a community and making personal relationships with these people that are showing up for our classes.
Now that you say, we also used to go for brunch for a good year.
We
for a
good
good
year. Used to do
our class ends with a brunch or a coffee after.
Because our Harlem classes used to be on the weekends, so we used to block like 1 hour for class, and then after class, if anyone didn't have plans, we would always be down for coffee and stuff, and like that's how a lot of our friendships now have come about as well. Like we still hang out with a lot of them. So it's been quite a journey.
I will have to say the one thing that the Netherlands is good for is grabbing coffees.
Yes.
Making friendships over those coffees.
For
So
sure.
shout out to the Dutch community and culture. If they love their coffee, we love their coffee. What about some this is advantages, of course, like some benefits that you get out of dancing as a team and sharing that dance with people. But what are some challenges that you guys have had to face? Because I'm sure the journey wasn't easy, especially to give yourself a place and build yourself a name in such a diverse country. How easy was it, or how difficult was it to be on that journey?
I think when we started, there was really nothing else going on. So really, from researching not just dance studios but also the whole market, we actually created the market where there was not a lot going on. I think that took a lot of time. It took a lot of also sorting through our heads about what level do we want to put out there, what kind of dance do we, or what's our objective, right? While we do this. And I think we've really created that for ourselves.
And also in terms of diversifying our target audience, because we've never wanted to limit our classes or sessions to just Indians or
just females or just kids or just ladies. So it's
really wanted it to always be all inclusive, and that's what you saw today as well in the class. There was a very diverse crowd of people, and I think that's always been our primary focus as well. It was, of course, difficult in the beginning because you're really starting on a blank canvas and you don't know where to go, because you need to do the trial and test out and see what works and what doesn't. So I think we did have to learn some things, I would say, a bit of the hard way. But with time, you just get better at doing what you're doing. I think one thing we've really improved in terms of during sessions is that we always put special attention to ensuring everyone feels like they're on the same page, and we always extend that help to modify some steps, give them additions or make things easier. And I think we've gotten quicker at that in our heads as well, to be able to give those suggestions and solutions to people that maybe can't keep up or have certain reasons why they can't do a step type of thing. And I think that's really shown through in our sessions.
It was something that we saw today as well. So
True.
You guys are great teachers, I would have to say that.
Thank you.
Now, you mentioned that you always did have a page on Instagram. What was the motivation to start sharing dance videos on social media? And was content creation, because I think you did mention you wanted to actually get into that, but what was the reason, what was the motivation to say, we have to start sharing this?
I think we were very nervous. It wasn't okay, let's be a public profile tomorrow. That really wasn't, because when we did have the travel page, it was really more aesthetic. It was just,
and it was not pictures of us.
No,
it was just everything we
just
see.
Landmarks and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was quite we also spoke to our parents. So it was a lot of you're really putting yourself out there a whole lot. And again, I think we've always had this, just try it out and see if it works, see if it brings you happiness, see if it's still aligned with what what we want out of this. And it stuck through. That's
good.
And I think also reconnecting with music kind of helped a lot, because we did a couple of videos, but then we're both very much into BTS's music as well, and they have a big fandom, and so they had a new release coming up very much the same time when we were venturing on this journey of dancing together again. And so I just messaged her. I was like, the teaser is out today. It sounds really nice. Would we be down to record it once it releases? And I think that was also a very pivotal moment, because that was one of the first videos that we kind of had a lot of shares on and stuff like this. So I think
we also did a global dance project because of that with BTS.
Yeah.
And again, that was during COVID. So we had a lot of connections just through this dance community on Instagram. We actually did, I don't even know how many people, at least 20-ish, 20, 30 people all across the world. we actually sent them like a clip to kind of recreate, and we joined this whole thing, and it's a beautiful. We should watch that again.
Very wholesome one. But yeah, I think that's I think at the end of the day, like dance to us has really been about bringing people together and sharing the happiness we get from it, and I think that's what we also did on social media.
Well, it's a good thing that we also do notice that it's not just Indian music, it's not just Bollywood, it is very diverse. So I think people are willing to learn and like be part of that community that embraces like everything and not just a niche. But what about like your favorite choreographies and like your favorite dance routines, and also how do you start to like think of the choreographies? Like what's the brainstorm process like for those things?
I think the brainstorm process is a hot mess. In all honesty.
We pull through.
It takes a while. I think again we've obviously gotten a lot quicker at it in recent times, but when I think about early days, I think we spent a long time and we were trying to figure out each other's styles as well, because our styles are very different. And you probably can't tell as an audience, but like we can tell because the way we do steps really differs, and we struggle with different things in certain choreographies and stuff. So I think just merging that and trying to understand the other person's comfort and blending into
working on strengths. I think we figured that out in more recent times. And the process is either we kind of divide bits of every song and then put it together and make sure that it flows. But there are times that I think most of it is like this, right?
Yeah. But I think, like, obviously, it's not that, okay, you take this part, we take this, I'll take this part. We really still need to discuss, like, what vibe are we going for? What outfits are we wearing? Because then that helps the creative juices flow in that specific tangent as well. Otherwise, we just end up with some khichdi. I think that's been a learning journey for us as well, to just,
And when it comes to the choreographies that you guys do for workshops, which one of you is like a little more empathetic to the audience? They're like, no, they're not going to be able to do this, or like
I think both a lot. I think both. We start here and then we tone it down. Like, can mom do this?
That's a great
right.
Thing. And is mom able to do that? Does mom dance as well?
They're not bad.
We've actually made them dance. They featured on our page as well.
True.
A couple of times. Yeah.
That's good. And how do they feel about this whole? I mean, we could ask them ourselves.
Yeah, true.
How do they feel about it?
This was actually our first dance workshop that they're actually seeing live.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so glad to have been part of that workshop. Wow.
Yeah. So,
I think they've always supported us, and they've always made sure that we have something outside of work that brings energy to us and just pushes us or just wakes us up every morning. And I think they've sometimes, even when we're a bit like pushing it at the back, they're like, no, like, think about this, do this, or how about this? So I think they've been a very good critic and support at the same time.
I think also an integral part of like the brainstorming of the business side of things, right? Because ultimately, sure, dance is our passion and dance is what we do, but how do we position that? How do we create the market? Like, what do we price our workshops at? Which studios do we pick? What are the pros? What are the cons? Like, they've really been a sounding board, I would say, and their suggestions and advice has also really helped, get us where we are today.
That's good. You gotta love the grandparents. They're the ones that push us into all this and then tell us like, okay, study too, but then here, make the money off of the classes.
But I think it's also really sweet because like even this time when they came from India, they've actually brought like a suitcase full of some clothes for like our students and stuff, and they surprised us with it because they didn't tell us that they were going to do that. So like even the dupattas that we used today, like half of those were brought by them in this trip. So that's really a pillar of support.
That's sweet. Oh, you gotta love the parents. Shout out to all you grandparents. You gotta love you guys. And looking back at your journey, either both like social media wise or like your workshops, what has been some memorable moments for you guys? What have been some memorable maybe content pieces that you guys have shared?
I think for both of us, I hope I can speak. Sharing the stage with Salman Khan has to be the highlight of, and I think that
we were so young as well. I think that was 2010.
I was in class 2010.
That was 2010.
Well, not too long ago, but it is. Yeah. But it's again, even with that, I was almost not going to do it. I was in grade 10, so it was my O levels time. So it was a thing of like, do you not want to focus? But then parents are like, okay, but it's Salman Khan.
But also, it wasn't a situation where we were back dancers or something. Like it was just an event where we were performing.
And he was an audience.
He was
basically.
like the chief guest.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we were like, okay, he's going to be there. Are we scared? Are we not? Do we want to do it? Do we have time? Ended up doing it, and like midway through the performance, he like ran up on stage and he was like, right in between both of us.
He
and
actually
was like learning the steps.
He took permission from who he was sitting next to, an important person, saying, "Can I actually go up?" Because he wasn't asked to, allowed to. And I think we were one of the only performances that he, by himself, he came to the stage, he figured out who's choreographed, he knew it was us, and he's actually done the full 2-3
he spent
minutes.
like the first segment on my side, the last segment on her side,
and at the end he's like, "You did this, didn't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What's your name?" And he pronounced my full name. Special memory. I think that's for sure a highlight.
Yeah, and I think social media wise, Alia Bhatt shared our reel.
Really?
On her
Which
story. Dance Kahoot, and that's the song
That's
we
why
played.
I chose.
So that was, we were like, that has to be the first workshop song. But even Karan Johar and Nora Fatehi.
I'd seen those in your highlights.
It helps.
It does.
It's very motivating. And we've also had like a reel on YouTube go pretty viral. We were at 2 million views the last one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The internet really goes crazy with something.
And you never know what works and what
exactly,
doesn't.
exactly.
Like, we've thought like a lot of our content is worthy of going viral, but the randomest stuff that we wouldn't have imagined going viral ends up getting viral. So it's, you can't tell.
That is. I know exactly how that feels. Every time you think, okay, today I'm going to match the algorithm. Today I'm going to use trending audio. Today I'm going to do this. Nope, doesn't work. But the most random stuff is like,
literally,
why do people like this? We're not
but they do.
But yeah, well, that's lovely. And that's now let's talk about the future. Okay, we talked about the past. What does the future look like for you guys, or at least what's a tentative future that you guys have in mind? What do the workshops look like? What does your social media look like, say, I don't know, 5 years from now? Any special collaborations that you want to do with like maybe different artists? Because you did have, like I said, Shehzaan was here, and
Dharmic.
I know how his name, but I keep forgetting there's an H.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Yes, you had.
I think that for sure. So I think we want to expand the whole dance scene, also in the rest of Europe. Hopefully, with bringing these people in, and clearly it generates a lot of energy. You see people who've turned up.
I wasn't physically one of them, but
still.
like emotionally.
You were very invested.
Yeah. And I think you guys did see it, but at the Diljit concert, I happened to see him.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very random. That day
yeah.
was a fever dream. And
what, you just spotted him? Or
I didn't, but my friend did. She's a very fast girl. Shout out to Ash. I couldn't have done it without her. She was behind, like, she was basically my PR for the day. She was helping me take videos and pictures of people with like merch, like design these glasses. And we're standing in line, and she goes, Shehzaan! And I turn, she's like, Minnie, he's there. Now, I turn, but then when I like meet people who are like influencers or celebrities, for some reason I just shut down. I don't speak. I'm so afraid of embarrassing myself that I just prefer not to say anything, and I get nervous. Like my cheeks go red and my ears get hot. It's just not a good sign. So he's like, hi, how are you guys? So we gave him a hug, and I was like, I didn't say it, but my friend was like, she's like, picture. I was like, can we get a picture? And I give him the glasses because Pxrdesi first before Mini, right? And we take pictures in the glasses, and he was so sweet about it. And there were 2 after parties. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but there were after parties happening for Diljit, and I was going to go for both of them. I really don't know if I should be saying this, but after parties were happening, and I asked him if he's going to be at any, because I saw videos of like the previous cities, and the crew, and
Yeah.
they were like showing up to these
True.
events, right? So I'm like, okay, what if he does come? Because I was going for both, so maybe I see him somewhere. And I was also friends with, well, not friends, but like close enough with Amsterdam Bhangra, who did perform with Diljit as well. And I knew where they were going to be. So because they were part of crew, I was like, maybe Shehzaan shows up there. So I asked him, and he's like, where are they happening? Because he was in a rush, so we couldn't really like text at that point. And he goes, you know what, just text me the address. What's your handle? And I said, Pxrdesi Mirchii. He started walking, and he stopped. He's like, you're Pxrdesi Mirchii with the red logo and everything. Man, I froze again. I was like, okay.
What a moment.
Yeah, it was so
well
random.
done.
So random. But yeah, so hopefully he gets onto this space really, really soon. He has seen some content, so
That's cute.
You're manifesting that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Just thinking about it is like, it still feels like a fever dream to talk about. But yeah, keeping that.
It counts.
It's not me. This is about you guys. What are some like aspirations that you guys have for the future?
I think we also want to build our community and grow our own, spread our own dance workshops beyond just the Netherlands in the coming future.
Because we travel a lot, so it would be lovely to do these pop-up classes wherever we go. So I think that's something we have discussed and thought about. Of course, it needs a lot of time because from your vacation, you're going to do a lot of admin and a lot of...
And also pre-planning, right? Because other than planning the vacation itself, studio, how do we get registrations? What's that looking like? So there's obviously like a lot of work around it, but...
bigger and better, I think that's the
goal.
And it's always been, so...
Any hopes to like say choreograph with some celebrities or like some music videos, or you're like more invested in the teaching rather than performing?
We have had a couple of opportunities come through.
True.
Which unfortunately,
for reasons we can't say,
That's fine.
didn't work. I think in a sense we're quite picky when it comes to choosing what's morally right for us, but also for our students, because we're involving them. So never say never for sure, I think, but at the end of the day, it's our art, right? And just like a hairdresser, this is, something that we should be appreciated for, along with, of course, our students. So if the timing is right, the opportunity is right, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Open to it.
That was amazing, and I hope that you guys continue to grow positively and
thank you.
Bigger
With your support, for sure.
Oh, definitely, I'll be there.
Yeah, you've been such a cheerleader, though. Like,
heartwarming.
thank you.
For sure. I couldn't have like. The thing is, I felt so bad at one point that I was only now finding out about you guys. So, but I guess, yes, it was supposed to happen eventually.
True, all in
Better
its
late-
own time, right?
Yeah, better late than never,
For sure.
really and truly. So, I will be here whenever you guys want to do something.
Thank you.
Whenever you guys want to host people, I'm going to be there. No questions asked. So,
I love that.
So, do you guys want to do the rapid fire first?
Heartbeat
It'll be the same-
intensifies.
Yeah, I feel like I'm actually sitting on the hot seat now.
It will be the same question for both of you. So I'll throw the question, and then you can answer first, and then you can answer second, or whoever has the answer first, they can say it.
Okay, cool.
There's no winner here. You guys are both winners, and it's kind of hard to compete with your own siblings. We don't endorse, sibling rivalry. But what we do have is a prize if you correctly answer the 5 trivia questions on entertainment.
Let's try.
You'll be better at that.
I don't know. Let's see. Depends.
But you guys are playing as a team, so
Okay.
We got this.
you'll get
Cool.
the
Good
prize
to know.
either way.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so are you ready for your rapid fire round?
Let's go.
I am not ready for this rapid fire round. Where is my content? Oh, my brother helped me make these questions. So
nice.
while I was cleaning the house for Diwali, I was like,
yeah.
okay, right. First question. One artist you would give everything to work with.
Shahid Kapoor?
Ooh.
Oh, damn. I think Ramo D'Souza for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Good dancers. Well done, us.
That's true. No, and both of them are really good.
Yeah.
Because, one is like just naturally talented,
Yeah.
a good dancer, and then one is actually a professional
True.
dancer.
Wow,
So
good mix.
We really balance each other out, can you tell?
why not both at the same time?
Oh, that would be a
True.
dream.
Yeah.
True. Manifest.
Who is your current favorite dancer? Maybe like a social media an internet dancer, or someone that you know in person, someone that you've looked up to.
There's a lot. It's tough to choose one, no? What do you think?
Yeah, I do think it's tough to choose one. But I think, like in Bollywood, like the dances are getting better. I think Ranveer Singh has always been a really good dancer though.
Has a lot of energy, so that
I think it's more of like just stage presence as
Yeah.
well, like screen presence. And I think that's what also draws us more to like good dancers, even in concerts. Like we really appreciate, for example, Beyonce's concerts. Like she puts on a show because she's not just dancing, she's not just singing, she's doing both.
Yep.
And I think those are probably people we look up to because
And
they
also
can
other
do everything.
dance influencers, I guess Sonali Vidyottama.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
is there any hint that she's coming to the
Wink,
Watch
wink.
this space. Stay tuned.
You heard it here. It's a secret between the two of us and everybody else. Okay. So Ranveer Singh for both of you guys then as an official answer.
Because I think performance and
Yeah,
dance, I
it's
think
just
that's
overall,
something we are
yeah.
attracted to. So
Yeah.
Fair enough. And 3 songs that you guys are currently listening to on repeat. So 3 for you, 3 for you.
Ew. This is not very rapid.
Editing will fix everything.
Let me think.
I can think of 2.
Go on. Maybe we even share the same. Go on.
Please, please, please.
Yeah,
by
feel free to-
Sabrina
oh.
Carpenter.
Oh yeah.
I missed out on getting tickets for her concert and I'm still really bummed about it.
Okay, hopefully next time.
So please, please, please. There was also another Jonas Brothers one that was really on repeat.
Roller
recently.
coaster?
Yeah,
Roller
coaster.
That's because we went to the concert.
Yeah, and it's been on loop since.
Ooh, I've been listening to Teri Yaad a lot
Oh,
by
Aditya.
Aditya. Indie vibe. What else?
Oh, there's a lot of Zayden. I listen to Zayden a lot.
He got married. Like
He did,
last
and it was
week.
so wholesome. That was very precious.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I love that they're also playing his music at the wedding. Like that's so precious.
I mean, as they should.
Absolutely. Like
Give yourself some extra royalty.
Yeah.
That was very sweet. But I've been listening to 5 AM.
And a bit of Taylor Swift here and there.
Now we've just told her our whole playlist.
That's fine.
You asked for 3 and
That's
6.
fine. The
Now you
more
have
content, the better. Okay. And the best compliment you've received since, starting your workshop, since doing your social media.
the
I
vision
think it
board
was-
story.
Yeah,
Go for
yeah.
it.
So when we went back to India, I think it was 2 years back, 1 year back. This girl reached out to us and she was like, "Hey,
On
if
Instagram.
you're also in Jaipur, like, can we please collaborate? I would really love to do a video with you guys." So we did some back and forth and we were like, "Okay, cool, let's do this song." She did half, we did half. We showed up, recorded it in a couple of takes, and then at the end of it she was like, I really need to tell you guys, it's been my dream to work with you and like do a video with you guys. It was actually on my vision board for the year to make a video with you, and I'm so glad that this was a spontaneous trip to India and I was able to do this with you. But yeah, you're really my role models and I've manifested this for so long, and I think that was that was the moment. We felt like, wow, people are inspired by us, and that's a responsibility that they're vesting in us. And I think that also made us take this a lot more seriously and be very wary of what we do with this space.
And we also shared a moment like you. So we were in Jaipur and we attended Harsh's dance workshop. So I'm a celebrity choreographer. And when you take pictures at the end, we were like, we're the Faujdar sisters. And he's like, "Oh, you're the Faujdar." So literally the same. We're like, wow.
He had been following us for a while.
Yeah.
We just hadn't
to
met
put
face
faces.
to face.
Yeah. So the fact that we don't live in India, but we're still trying to, are making a space in that zone, it's not easy. So I think these things
That is commendable.
help.
Yeah, and also
definitely.
just building that community in 2 places at once.
Yeah.
Right? That's challenging, but
Okay, love to see it. I'm manifesting more of those
Thank
experiences for you
you.
guys. Both.
Thank you. For both of us. Yeah, for both of us.
But you guys first. You were here first. Okay, next question. Top 5 Bollywood choreographies or hook steps of all time. Your favorite hook steps.
Nice. Chaya.
Yeah, classic.
I think Dance Ka Booth as well because that's just
Memorable.
very personal
Yeah,
now.
Yeah. Kajraye for sure.
Oh,
We've done that at so many weddings,
Yeah.
also with our wedding choreographies. Yeah.
Also Kala Chashma.
Kala Chashma. Wow, look at me just doing all of that.
What's the 5th?
I think these stick out.
Yeah, there's like Desi Girl and stuff.
Yeah.
Sheila Ki
Basic.
Jawani.
The classics.
Classics.
Oh, okay. And top 3 favorite choreographies of the Faujdar sisters.
Oh,
Nice.
tough one.
Yeah. Okay.
So many to choose from actually. Oh, मैंने पी रखी है. Oh,
Yes.
I love that. Yeah, one of the videos we thought would go viral.
I'm ready to record that in 10 different, just for one of them to actually reach the right audience. That's a very good one.
Yeah.
Maybe Rakhi hai. Maybe Promise. Did you love
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So it was like a BTS song, but we did like a
lyrical
classic
transit,
take to
yeah.
it.
Oh, wow.
So that was unique. And maybe I would say, so we did like a 16-minute choreography for one of my friends' weddings back in the Maldives. So 16 minutes of, I think that.
But also for ING, we performed at their Holi and we did a 16-minute
Also,
long performance with them as well.
So to keep people captivated for 16 minutes, that's not easy, but
Did
it
you have
went
to
really
do
well.
like flips and tricks?
Yeah, and like outfit changes
yeah.
and
Oh,
like hair
wow.
changes and have like
Oh, this was
props.
a Bollywood movie too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Corporates, you know where to reach us.
ING got more for their money.
Yeah.
So was that 3? Yeah, that was 3. I think
Yeah,
so.
we did 3.
Yeah.
3. Okay, and then the last question. If a biography were to be made on your journey as sisters, what song title would you want to have as the name, whether it was a movie or a series? And then I have a follow-up question, but you can answer that one first.
What do you think of Eye of the Tiger? Is that too intense?
It's good.
They're also soft.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say I want to dance with somebody.
ooh,
Yeah, 'cause, like that's also my
And we heard
favorite
it
song,
today.
and we just
Nice.
heard it today. And like it just keeps
Good
coming
one.
up on like trips
Good
and
one.
everywhere we go. And I think that's just I think that would be the soundtrack. Like we just wanna
That's
dance with
very
somebody.
us.
Oh, that would be nice. I could just imagine the poster already, like you two holding hands.
Yeah, and
It's
going.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, good one.
lovely.
Teaser incoming soon.
Movie producers, if you are watching.
Wow, just everyone's watching.
And then a follow-up question: who would you want from the Bollywood industry to play your female leads?
Whoa. Wow.
That's interesting.
I don't know.
I think Alia Bhatt is just a really good actor, and I feel like she embodies like characteristics and personalities very well. So I think I would probably pick her to do me.
Who were the sisters in, or like, was it Padmavat where there was Priyanka Chopra and who did Big Brother? Yeah, well, there's sisters, but let's say Alia and Deepika. What do we think?
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah.
That's our
Yeah,
answer.
Deepika. I see it. Well, that was the end of the rapid fire, and guys did amazing. That was really.
You
good.
made it easy.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was-
I mean,
Well
I
done,
didn't
you.
wanna, like,
No.
make it too hard.
No, this was fun.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Also, really made us think, right? I think a lot of these
Challenged
questions
us,
that we
yeah.
don't, on a day-to-day think about. So, that was interesting.
well, glad you liked it, and I hope that put you in a good mind space because now we have the trivia.
Let's try.
5 questions. They range from difficult to easy to medium in no chronological order. Who knows more about Bollywood or like entertainment in general?
I think me, but
Definitely you.
Definitely.
Okay. So if you know the answer, just shout it out. First question is, name 3 Bollywood movie songs that feature Nora Fatehi.
Dilbar.
Zalim.
Zalima Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And Zalim. So there's 3. Yeah.
Well done.
That's 3, correct. Then, name 3 movies directed by Farah Khan that feature Shah Rukh Khan in the main lead. It is his birthday today, so we should.
Let's start messing. Om Shanti Om, is it?
Yeah.
Hint.
Do we get lifelines? Can we call a friend?
I that's the only one.
Like one really big one.
What does it start with?
Oh.
Om Shanti Om.
Yeah.
We did that. We said Om Shanti Om just now, didn't we?
Oh, my bad.
Oh.
Are there more? Give us
sorry.
more.
It's a very important day in the year.
New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Happy
good
New Year.
one.
Yeah.
It's coming soon.
It's Chennai Express.
No, that was directed by Rohit Shetty.
Oh yeah, true.
Like I think it was her first film, if I'm not mistaken. With the OG, like, chemistry teacher.
Mehuna
Yes.
has to be nice.
Yeah.
We make a good team. Yeah.
Alright, then the third question is, what color are Papu's eyes in the song Papu Can't Dance?
Papu ki neeli aankhein, is it?
No.
I mean, you're correct, but it's in English, so...
Yeah.
Can we just cut that?
I know, I think that was great. I mean, that was great.
That's such a her thing because she's
Yeah.
so bad at lyrics.
That confidence
And thank God we didn't do
100.
the lyric challenge. I think
Yeah, but that's correct.
that's great social media content, I must say.
This will be the teaser.
Yeah.
Can you not do this?
No, but it was
I love it.
really cute.
No.
You were right.
Yeah.
It's not like you were wrong.
And you were so confident about it.
Yeah.
Like, Papu ki neeli aankhein.
This is my personality in
Yeah,
3
but
seconds.
that's the thing, you are right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it counts. You just said it in a different
Papu
language.
ki aankhein light blue.
Okay.
Next question. Which actress from the following list has not done a biopic? The options are Taapsee Pannu, Janhvi Kapoor, and Ananya Pandey.
Johnny, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
That is wrong. It's Ananya Pandey. Yeah. She's
Which one did Janhvi do?
Janhvi did a biopic on Gunjan Saxena. Titled Gunjan
Oh,
Saxena. Yes.
And we watched it.
True.
How dumb.
True. Oh yeah.
Embarrassing.
That's okay. It happens. And then last, name 5 celebrities that featured in the Diwangi song from Om Shanti Om.
Kajol.
Yeah.
Shahrukh.
Besides Shah Rukh.
Okay.
Besides Shah Rukh, yeah.
Shilpa Shetty.
Yes.
I think Sushmita Sen was also in. Was she not?
No, she wasn't.
Juhi.
Yes.
Juhi. Shilpa.
Kajol.
Kajol. Arjun Ram.
Well, yeah, but he was part
in
of the
yeah.
movie, so it doesn't
Fair.
count.
There were more females.
There were a lot. Farah Khan also came through, did she not?
No, that was at the end for her credits.
Oh.
Priyanka Chopra.
Yes.
Can you contribute?
I was going to say Priyanka Chopra, but you said it was
And you shared the stage with this guy.
Oh yeah, Salman Khan.
Yeah.
What? You see, we're so female. Yeah.
Women
Let's
power.
go for
Women power.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that was correct. And
There were a lot of struggles.
I mean, it's okay. You know, Bollywood isn't always on everyone's minds. But I think you guys did fantastic. 4 out of 5. But I will still give you
Not
the
too shabby.
prize.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah, very sweet.
Thank you.
Earned it.
Earned it with 4. Yeah. Thank you.
I
That's
mean,
sweet.
it was going to you anyway. So like, But yeah, well, not only was that the end of the trivia, but it was also the end of the entire episode. Rather short, but I think we covered everything and we had a lot of fun doing it. What
I
are
loved it.
your thoughts?
It was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Very smooth, very natural.
and also just gave us a moment to reflect on our
Yeah.
journey, which I think we haven't done in a while. So that was nice. Yeah.
That's good.
And you were a great host.
Yes,
like,
thank you.
you really made it a safe space and like comfortable, and it was just easier to have the conversation and chit chat. So
For sure.
yeah, well done.
Thank you. And thank you guys for being here. I mean, you had to be here regardless. But thank you for taking out the time to do this. I know this has been long coming, but this is definitely not the last episode that we guys are going to do together. Hopefully, in the next season, when I have things a little more technically sorted, we will definitely do something. Maybe host events together.
Yes.
I would love
Whenever you guys are doing something, I'll be there. Whenever I'm doing something, hopefully you
For
guys
sure.
will be there. And yeah, other than that, I'm going to speak to my audience
Yes.
now. I hope you enjoyed this dance and music-filled episode with the Faujdar sisters. So for more dance and Bollywood and music, don't forget to follow them on Instagram and other social media, which is at Faujdar sisters. You can see the spelling here. And of course, for more things Pxrdesi, Desi and Mirchii in the Netherlands and worldwide, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Spotify and on YouTube. That is at Pxrdesi Mirchii with the extra I at the end because I am extra. I will see you guys with another episode, hopefully very, very soon. But till then, namaste, goodbye, and thank you for listening to Pxrdesi Mirchii 7291 non-FM. That's a wrap.
Dude,
Well done. You were